Okay. Ride back home. That trailer doesn't have any suspension. You can sure tell it. I wonder if this is one of those places like the other one that if something went wrong and you tried to get a hold of them on a Sunday, you can knock on the door or call them and they wouldn't answer it because it's Sunday. Because that's the lady's car right there. That little, well, that's her car. So she's there. So if I couldn't get out or something, she'd probably just sit up there and watch me and laugh. Oh, she'd come out, I'm sure. This place used to be called a storage place. Yep, can't see my secret code there. Yeah, isn't that a inventive name for a storage place? A storage place? I guess so, as far as storage facilities go, this one's pretty nice. Had one down in Gunners when they got broke into. They didn't steal anything. Nobody even steal any of my crap. But gosh. Yeah, even with this, V6 in here, you can sure tell there's a load behind this thing. Go on. On over. Hurry up, hurry up, hurry up. Now, I guess another little nitpick I've had about this truck is looks like that hoist turned sideways, but this trap's still on it. I guess another little nitpick I've had about this truck is this thing, even with a stock exhaust on it and a stock muffler, it's got the loudest exhaust sound I've ever seen for a stock exhaust. And this engine, see, I just kicked out a lockup. It always seems like it's working hard all the time. But it's okay. If you like them, I wouldn't tell you not to get one. If you're okay with a mid-sized truck, I'm really not. I think a compact truck and a truck this size is more for people that just want to drive one every day as transportation. And not so worried about if it carries a lot of cargo or tows a lot. You know, it'd be, I guess, good for towing a jet ski or a four-wheeler or something like that. But I don't like them as transportation because they don't ride good enough or too loud. They just have some shortcomings over a car. But that's just me, you know. The nittiest picker of the nitpicker when it comes to cars. But I'll tell it like it is, though. If there's something I don't like about one, I'll definitely tell you. Excuse me. Gotta love them. See that says Grand Lake right there, Mungo Homes. I've considered making a video especially for that subject, but I'll talk about it now. That thing is moving around back there. I wonder why. I thought I had it strapped down tight. This thing has to be back by 12:15, so. So that's the problem with that trailer. You can't get the, well, you kind of can. It's kind of hard to get the hoist in. The hoist in and deal with the trailer thing and gate, all that stuff. But anyway, I was telling you about these subdivisions. You ever notice that? Here's another one right here. There's a hellacious bump right here. Like that one, what was that one called? Grand Lake, and there's one down the road down there called the Dairy at something farm. And you know, all these developers that build these neighborhoods, they always put these names on these neighborhoods, and they put them on these big huge signs out by the road. And what's the point of that? I mean, does that really make people feel better about buying a house there if it's got some of these crazy names like the Dairy or Stonebridge or the Valley Glen at something farm or something like that? I mean, do people, when they buy a house in these neighborhoods, do they really go around and tell people, oh, you know, well, we bought a house out there at the dairy farm at Cider Ridge, and we just really love it? You know, who really cares, man? I think that is a ploy to get people to spend more money on houses. And you know, if you ever watch these neighborhoods going up, they've been building some out here by where I live. If you ever watch these neighborhoods getting built, you see what they build these houses out of. You know, when they're finished, they're real pretty, and they got brick and stone and all that crap, you know, stucco and things on them, and they really look nice and blah blah. First thing I have against these neighborhoods like that is the houses are like 20 foot from one another. Why do people want to live that close to each other? Is it some kind of security thing? Is like, oh well, my neighbors just like 20 foot from us, so you know, if we screamed, they would hear us and come right over and help us. And then, you know, the houses are not constructed like they used to be. It used to be houses were built a lot more stout underneath. Like you see all these houses here. These houses are particle board and they're lightweight wood construction underneath, and they have brick on it, but that's just veneer. They haven't built solid brick houses in decades, man. So if a tornado hits those things, they're gone. They're not strong houses. They look nice, but they are not strong houses. Look at this. This one is Oakhurst Place. There, see. Better speed up a little. I've got to poke them along, but oh, that's why we live in Oakhurst Place. And I'm not saying I wouldn't buy a house like this. I wouldn't. See, those aren't that close together. Those are better. I have nothing against the houses. I'm just, you know, I think what I'm ranting against is people kind of get suckered into doing things that they think is something that's beneficial, and they think they're being individual, but they're not really. People just do the same thing as every other person does. They live in the same houses every other person lives in. They drive the same kind of cars, eat the same kind of food, eat the same restaurant, and a lot of it's guided by what people that own businesses and build houses and build restaurants want us to do. It's not, people don't have that much of a sense of individuality anymore, I don't believe. There's a house right down the street from me. As a matter of fact, we won't go by that one because I'm not going to go that way, but it's been for sale down the street for about 6 or 7 months. And you know, the guideline is, they say if you don't sell a house in 6 months, you need to take it back off the market for a while. So this house has been for sale, and it's just like the one I live in, just one of those, you know, resident houses. It's a brick ranch house. And so anyway, that thing sat there, and what happened was the guy that lived there, the older man that lived there, he got sick with something and passed away. And his daughter or somebody, daughter, son-in-law, something like that, they, of course, you know, it was probably paid for, so they got a big windfall, so they immediately put it up for sale, cleaned it out, put it up for sale. And but what they did, the mistake they probably made was they painted the shutters. That house is a dark brick color like mine, and the one I live in, and they painted the shutters this, and you know it was a woman's decision to paint that color. This atrocious light blue color, vivid light blue, which is one of the, there's not many things in life that vivid light blue looks good on, and house shutters is definitely one of them. Probably about the color of this house coming up on the left right here. About that color, the color of the wall right there. So she painted the shutters. In fact, I saw her doing it. I know it was her. Painted the shutters that atrocious color. And see, people that buy houses, they didn't, nobody bought that house because that's the first thing people see. Even if it's not a bad color, if it's a color that's not one of these bland browns or tans or black or something like that, usually if it's not some kind of color that reflects a non-opinion, then they won't buy it. It'll stand out. So that's the way that happened. That house didn't sell. See that right there? That's not bad. Mine was that color, but it's not bad. Most of these houses, see, they're brown, or some's green, tan, thing. So something sedate. So anyway, finally, I guess it got disgusting. They took the house off the market, and put a handwritten sign out in the front yard. Said $68,000 cash. And I think somebody immediately snapped it up because houses around here go for about $90,000. And so they snapped it up, I guess, and then immediately, actually it's that house down the street, right down the corner right there, that one. They immediately painted the shutters back brown. So, alright guys, I got to get this thing back then, so I'll talk to you later.